Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everyone?
Hey, so it is Into the Wild week 4. I'm Wicked Good. I'm here with Saucy Mailman. It's Saturday night. I'm ready for some Wild Hearthstone. How are you? Are you ready for some Wild Hearthstone, Saucy
I
Mailman?
am always ready for some wild Hearthstone. It is one of my
So
joys in life.
the only thing better than Wild Hearthstone is Wild Tournament Hearthstone, and that is what we have for you tonight. We have Nate Wolfe versus Wildcard in a deck building challenge week, and I will tell you about that in gory detail soon. I am very excited to get this match started between these two competitors, and one of them being our founder.
Yeah, exactly. So it should be an interesting and fun endeavor. You want to go over these rules for anyone who's new here?
Yeah, the normal rules are for every week is that there are 3 week cycles. This is the first week of a 3 week cycle, and each player chooses three classes with no ban, best of five conquest. Once a player has chosen a class, they cannot use it for the remainder of that 3 week cycle. This week is a deck building challenge week, so there are additional restrictions. So players have to bring one deck for each set of sets. So there are only certain sets that are available for each one of the decks. One of them is the Year of the Kraken deck, which is Nexramas, Old Gods, Karazhan, Gadget Sand, Classic, and Basic. The Year of the Mammoth set is Blackrock Mountain, Ungoro, Frozen Throne, Kobolds, Classic and Basic. And Year of the Raven is the Grand Tournament, League of Explorers, which would Boomsday Project, Classic and Basic. Obviously, those aren't lining up exactly against those standard years because they had to work the pre-rotation uh, sets in there somewhere because this is Wild and we can't have Wild without Sludge Belcher.
Oh God, no.
So it looks like what we have from the players is that Nate has brought a Cthulhu Rogue, a Taunt Druid, a Hadronox Taunt Druid, and an Odd Paladin. And Wildcard has brought a Jade Druid, a Big Priest, and what looks like a Reno Mech Hunter.
I'm all about it.
Yeah, we got Gorilla Bots.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's not to like, really?
I mean, last night I spent like 3 hours streaming Reno Yogg Hunter, so I'm in.
Oh, you
I'm
need to
in.
send me that list.
Oh, it's not a
Anything
list. It's just a bunch of spells and Yogg and Reno.
that's all I want though.
It
I
was
mean,
great.
anything with Yogg in it, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yep. So,
Yeah,
yeah, this should be a good time. I'm excited.
yeah. I don't know how these are gonna line up. I don't really care how these are gonna line up. I just want to see some Blades of Cthulhu and some Reno Hunter. I am all about it. I am ready to get started.
Yeah. If you want to let them know, we should be
Yep.
good to go.
Yep. So we're going to get them into game. And what do you want to see first out of these?
Um, I want to see Yogg Saron, but apparently that's not going to happen. No.
Yeah. What
I don't
monsters really?
I don't know.
I really want to see this Cthulhu Rogue. I have like this ridiculous soft spot in my heart for Cthulhu Rogue because I just have tried to make it work so many times and failed so many times that I want to see somebody who has more dedication to it than I do try to
Yeah.
make it work.
Let them know they're good.
And of
to
course,
go.
Reno Mech Hunter. I remember being at Disney World and waiting in like some like 80-minute line for something with like Zillai's Reno Hunter way back in the day.
I love
And
Reno Hunter.
yeah,
It's always like
it's
just close enough to almost being a real deck.
yeah, it's like just far enough. I mean, maybe it's okay now. I don't even know.
It's not.
I mean, maybe well, okay, fair enough.
It's
I mean,
not.
well, I mean, it's not going to beat Starliner, so it's not going to do that on ladder, but we are going to have a Druid Mirror to start off with, and we have wild card on that Jade Druid versus Nate on the Taunt Druid.
What do you like in
And
this matchup? Who do you like?
I don't know. I mean, this is a Gadget Sand list, as we're seeing from the Mulligans here. He's going to get rid of the Gadget Sand, but that's going to be. I actually should just double check and make sure there's no Mechathune in here. I don't think there would be because I don't think he's in those sets. No, it tops out at Agent of War. But going with the Gadget Sand list that can really cycle through quickly. I wonder if the Jade Druid, if it gets a good enough start and we're seeing a Jade Idol and Aya but no ramp, I wonder if that can just kind of get ahead of the Taunt Druid, depending on what the Taunt Druid's draws look like.
Yeah, exactly. I think Gadgetzan does help in a matchup like this, though.
Yeah, I think being able to just kind of power cycle through. I mean, that was the way that Jade Druid was before we got things like Ultimate Infestation that made it so you didn't actually have to try to draw through your deck. And oh, there's the Nourish to go along with an Innervate and a Jade Blossom. So it looks like Wildcard's going to be able to get this train rolling. Might even want to consider Nourishing for cards when he gets there, depending on what his next couple of draws look like, with the Jade Blossom to ramp him up to the 5.
Does this list play UI?
It does not.
Oh man.
It tops out at Ancient of War because well, I mean, it would have, because it is Frozen Throne's not one of the this is his Kraken list.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have Frozen Throne available to him.
Feral Rage, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. That's what you used to use back when you needed to not die and you didn't have a card that gave you 5 armor and give you 5 cards.
Back in the more honest days of Hearthstone.
Yeah. Back where men were men and Yogs were Yogs.
Oh man, I am such a proponent of them unnerfing Yogg in Wild.
Oh, I would love it.
I need him. I've been trying to play so many Yogg decks lately.
I need to get my Yogg on. I was a connoisseur of Yogg decks, but yeah, this is.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, this is an interesting play. Just choosing to power down this 3/5 rather than ramping and respecting this taunt. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this play. I mean,
you have to make a note. I'd like to ask him about this when we're interviewing these kids.
Yeah.
Huh. And then he replays it like, all right, well, you're that scared of my Tar Creeper? Have Tari number 2.
Do that again. Go ahead. I dare you. Yeah, I'm just making a note about that because because now you could have been nourishing this turn, and now instead you're just playing. You're getting a 2/2, which is not nothing, but you're putting yourself to the nourish unless he's determined that he's just gonna go Aya this turn into nourish for cards.
And Nate himself on that insane amount of ramp.
Yeah.
Now, do you play Aya or do you nourish? I like Aya.
I think you just drop Aya. I mean, it's already going to drop a 3/3.
And then
I think you nourish for cards, or you Ancient of War and draw, and then you nourish for cards. I think he just needs stuff to do, right? Like right now, he needs to get through his deck. He doesn't really have any spells to start cycling with the Auctioneer, and that's really what he needs to do. He needs to get all this stuff done before Nate can start power cycling the Hadronox. He doesn't really have an idea from what he's seen yet, like what kind of a deck that Nate's playing.
Ancient of War could be pretty good here too.
Yeah, I mean,
like
drop a 5/5, draw a card. It seems pretty good. The Azure Drake has some merit too.
Oh, this is Ancient of War though, not Lore.
Yeah. Oh, Ancient of War. That's right. Yeah, I'm getting.
He's
my
the big booty. He's the big booty.
Yeah,
one.
That's fine too, though. I mean, just a big butt in the way is fine too.
And have that big ass.
Yeah. And we're gonna see Nate nourish for cards and see if he can find his way towards. He's getting a couple of big dragons and a naturalize to take out that 5/10 if he wants to. And then the greedy sprite's not really much more than a 3/1 at this point, but he does have. I don't know if he really wants to naturalize right now though, because
no, I don't think.
It's not a huge threat.
He still has a huge butt though. He's gonna be hard to get through ever.
Yeah, but he does have 2 Primordial Drakes in hand now. I just don't know if he wants to be giving cards.
No, when your opponent doesn't have any cards in hand.
Yeah, especially to a Jade Druid who wants to draw through their deck as quickly as possible. That's the one benefit that Nate has is he knows for sure, having seen the Jade Idol, what wildcard strategy is.
And so far, Nate Wolfe hasn't shown anything.
Right. I mean, he's played taunts that you're just going to play in any Druid deck. He's played Druid cards basically. Looks like this Azure Drake's going to start getting the draw train rolling. If he only had 1 more mana, see if he had ramped, he'd be able to pair the swipe with that with the spell power. But I guess the Wrath is fine too.
Yeah. He's probably considering thinking like saving it for his actioneer, which is reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he would be saving it for. I don't know when he knows to. Oh, saving the wrath for his own auctioneer to pair it with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get that extra card draw.
I mean, you do get a card draw right now if you trade the 4/4 in and then just wrath it. You could just hero. Yeah, trading in the Ancient of War and Hero Power is fine too. This is a decent board that is going to be threatening enough for Nate to deal with.
Yeah, this makes more sense because like minions aren't really what you care about in this matchup. It's getting through your entire card deck.
Yeah,
like, you just need to draw all your cards.
Yeah, and you just want to kind of get that hand that will let you power cycle with the auctioneer.
So he picked up a Lich King.
Yeah, and he does have the Malfurion, which some Poison Spiders could be pretty nice right now.
Yeah.
He's thinking about a Wild Growth for some draw. May as well start because everything else is going to be less than, is going to be 8 mana or less anyway. So may as well draw and get another option.
Don't be like me and draw last.
Yeah, that's my signature move too. Especially when I'm playing Warlock. Oh, so the Wild Growth now I might be enough to get him to start thinking about the Gadgetzan Auctioneer, though we might want to be on full mana to do that.
And using your swipe now with spell power is pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean, you could just trade that 3/1 into the 4/8 to go along with the 5 damage from the swipe, and then you're really not giving up very much.
You could even nourish your cards if you wanted to.
Yeah, I like that actually. I think that would be good just to be able to get.
You could also hero power his face.
Nate's at 5.
Yeah.
Like we're so busy worrying about the auctioneer that we're ignoring the fact that Nate is dangerously low on life right now. And yeah, so gets another Wild Growth go with another auctioneer, and this Primordial Drake will clear off the board, but Nate is really, really low on health. I mean, nothing that's in this Druid deck is probably going to get through that wall, but this is going to be quite a power cycle turn that I would imagine Wildcard would want to start going with 2 Wild Growths, the 2 copies of excess mana, and the Innervate in hand.
Also make a 5/5.
Yeah. You could do that too. I mean, he may just choose to do that. Innervate Wild Growth excess mana is okay.
I like it.
Yeah. He's got to work on his APM though.
Nate's probably going to be in a spot where he's going to need 2 Malfurion for armor.
Yeah, I would imagine he has to. He may also have to naturalize. I mean, that's the one thing to be worried about if your wild card is that naturalize could end up burning that other Jade Idol, which would be disastrous.
Now the big misplay I see here from Wildcard is, see this Feral Rage? It's not gold. What's he doing?
Oh yeah.
What's he doing?
Yeah. I mean, what are you doing with your life if you don't have a glowing bear in front of you? So these 2 naturalizes could loom really large for Nate right now if he wants to use them. I can't imagine a better time to use them. You're expecting that Wildcard's gonna draw a bunch of cards anyway. If you can burn 3 cards and maybe get that second Jade Idol, I mean,
it's reasonable.
This is going to be your best time to do it. It's going to play that Lich King out. I mean, obviously you want to save it for the Hadronox that did just come into play. So, I mean, even one of those just burning 1 card is not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, he'd love to get that Lich King down before the Hadronox, but he doesn't really have that luxury right now. So we'll see what these are. So it's going to be, yep. Okay.
I mean, that's still a big one. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's a big butt, and it's annoying to deal with, but it's not going to. I mean, keeping Wildcard from going infinite, especially against the Taunt Druid that just dropped Hadronox, that would just be GG. So
yeah. If Wolfe can keep the big butts in the way, though.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see how Wildcard manages his hand size at this point, because he is leaving himself open to another naturalized turn. It's only going to burn 1 card, but he's only got 5 cards left in his deck. And you would expect that he would have started shuffling by now, probably.
Where's that Moonfire?
Yeah, I mean, you used to run Wild Pyromancer in this deck too. Wild Pyromancer and Acolyte of Pain when you were doing the power cycle version, just to really draw as quick as possible.
Malfurion's such a big draw there.
Yeah, I mean,
the taunt the taunt scarabs is a little weird there. I mean, you don't really want them to die.
The problem is that they're beasts. I mean, that's the bigger problem. It's not even so much that they're just dumb 1/5s, but that they're beasts. But I don't think he's running Witching Hour. Yeah, he's not running Witching Hour in the deck, so that's why he's a little bit freer to play Malfurion. This is more of like, I guess you could think of it more like a big druid, but it doesn't have, the Dragon Hatcher package and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
So getting a 6/6 and a 7/7 down is wild card, and that's going to start challenging what's on board for Nate.
If Nate doesn't get rid of one of these, or if wildcard doesn't kill a guy or armor up, Nate just has lethal.
Yeah, he's got the swipe
with the swipe and hero power. So
yeah, looks like he is going to at least get rid of one of those. Oh, the mind control tech 1 turn too late. Bright-Eyed Scout comes into the hand for Nate.
Do you just go all face, swipe him, and naturalize one of his dudes?
I think you probably. I wonder if you don't want to naturalize him just because you haven't seen that Jade Idol yet, right? Like, now you're not burning anything. You don't want to bring him closer to being able to go infinite. And I kind of like. Well, I don't know how much I like the trading. I guess you kind of have to.
He's trying to keep his Lich King alive. I get it.
Yeah, well, it's the Lich King, and also you have enough things that, even just like, he doesn't know if he's running a Savage Roar or whatever, but does choose to use that Naturalize, brings the Jade Idol into hand.
That's a
Fandral. Oh, Fandral and the Jade Idol.
Yeah, but I think you have to get down the taunt. Your own life total's getting kind of sketchy.
I don't know, do you? You could go Fandral, Jade Idol, Nourish.
You could,
and
he's got a big guy.
Drop a bunch of butts. Yeah.
Yeah. He could kill you with any damage if he did that.
Looking at the swipe in hand,
he has 13 that he's showing.
Yeah, it's true.
Like,
but
to 2.
That's not fun though, right?
It's not fun. But putting yourself to 2 against a druid who's only used 1 swipe is scary. And with a Lich King up, he could have Frostmourne. He could have Death and Decay. There's a lot he could have.
I guess Jade Idols are more fun when you have Gadgetzan Auctioneer on the board anyway, I guess.
You do probably have to use your Jade Idol this turn, though. You can't take that burn damage.
No, you can't afford to fatigue. I mean, you could use the Feral Rage for armor, too, just to get yourself out of harm's way. Yeah, looking like... Who's that Wrath? So he's going to Wrath for 3 on the Lich King, just to bring it down to 5 and try to kill it over 2 turns. Branching Paths is a card that Nate probably would have liked. I wonder if you trade...
Wait, is that lethal? Oh, no, he's 1 mana off lethal.
Yeah.
With Death and Decay, swipe, and
Death and Decay and the swipe will get through the taunts. That's 9, and yeah, it's not... no, that is lethal, I think. Because if you swipe the 3/3 and Hero Power the face, that's lethal.
Yeah.
I wonder if Nate sees it, though. Nate's taking his time on it. He might just be checking it.
You can do it. You can do it, Nate. No, what are you doing?
Oh!
Wait, it's the same thing,
no,
right?
this does it, too. If you Hero Power... Yeah, if you Hero Power the...
I was like, no, don't miss it, buddy. I will cry. We have the first victory there for Mr. Wolfe.
That was close. I was like,
no!
I've already seen 1 miss lethal this weekend. I didn't want to have to cast the second one.
Lich King, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he comes through sometimes. Sometimes he gives you Army of the Dead, but sometimes he comes through.
That was a close game. Like,
that was very close.
And health for a while. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you know as a druid when you're gaining a whole bunch of armor and the red number is 1. That's when you know you really just dodged a bullet.
What just happened? Good games though. I'm gonna let another good to go because he's gonna be slow.
Yeah, and that big taunt druid for Nate getting out of the way quickly. That's the one of his decks. I mean, Cthulhu Rogue is always kind of a bit of a not really a wild card because he's on the other side, but
it's a bit of a wild card. I love it.
But Cthulhu Rogue's always one of those decks that can kind of let you down sometimes. So but getting that big taunt druid out of the way has got to feel good. So
Yeah.
going in with the odd paladin, which I mean, you could put any combination of cards in there and be fine.
Yeah,
and
just anything.
Yeah, so I kind of would expect Nate to go try to get that Cthulhu Rogue out of the way first.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. See if Wildcard decides to stick on this Jade Druid or try to switch over to the Reno Hunter or the Big Priest. I would imagine that his Big Priest is kind of gonna be his get out of jail free card because Barnes just wins games. That's what he does. But it looks like we are going to see the Wildcard going back to that Jade Druid into Wolfe's Odd Paladin.
Ooh, this could be a tough one for Jade Druid, depending on how he draws.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be... I mean, you are running the Mind Control tech. That helps a little bit. But Nate's going to be going fast and furious against this Jade Druid that generally needs a lot of time to set up. And this was always the problem with Jade Druid before Ultimate Infestation, is that you could get under it and you could beat it by just going wide and hitting it in the face a lot early before it could get set up.
Before UI, before Spreading Plague.
Yeah, before it got all the things, right?
Wildcard, considering Innervate Hero Power, chooses against it. Smart man.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I don't really want to have to ask him about that after the game.
You're like, sir. Okay, let's talk about this. Ooh.
Is that really how you want to use it, Innervate?
Nate Wolfe saying, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to start this off.
That coin hero power is a little bit more defensible.
Yeah, I mean, you just want dudes. If you can just keep dudes forever. He just wants more mans for his raid leaders. He's got both in hand. I like this, the 1/5 taunt guy. That's kind of interesting. The Bronze Gatekeeper. I never know that guy's name. I never see him as a minion.
I mean, you're talking about that. You're not talking about the fact that there's Kangor's Endless Army in this deck.
No, that's normal. That seems fine.
And that's the one thing about this deck of Nate's is that he doesn't have access to level up. Yeah. So he's running Prince Liam, and he's running Nexus Champion Sarad and Mookless Champion. Do
you just use your... Yeah, I like this.
This is fine.
Do you think he's going to get rid of that 2/3? Yeah.
Yeah, just, keep the board, keep making him... I mean, make him have a swipe. Yep. I mean, that's fine. And Aya is not a swipe. I might have liked to just see, Tempo Fandral.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I would have played Fandral. He has to kill it. Otherwise, you get a good Nourish.
Especially with Nourish in hand, I would have just taken the chance on it.
Because you just want the game to go long, right? If you're the Jade Druid, you win eventually.
Yeah, and you're making him... What you're doing by making a play like that is making Nate address your Fandral instead of hitting you in the face like he's doing right now.
Man, look how big that dude's butt is, though.
That's a huge butt.
This Glowtron. He's thick.
Yeah. But Jade Behemoth has a pretty big butt itself.
He does have a big butt.
And he comes with a friend.
Giggling Inventor. Is that a card you've ever seen before?
No. I hear that that's a card they play in Standard once in a while, but it's not really getting much traction.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of people have it in their decks yet.
Yeah, I mean, why would you play Giggling Inventor where you can just put Noiltrons in your deck,
I love that. You have a 5/8 now. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, when Magnetic works, it works really, really well. It's just that, sometimes it doesn't, it's a little bit too slow, but it's just fast enough in a deck like this that it's working. And, if it can survive without getting silenced, and Wildcard's not running any silences in his deck.
Wildcard's under quite a bit of pressure here, too.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to chew through this 5/8 just in time for Nate. Oh, boy.
He's just basically saying, you need to have Naturalize or I'm going to just plow through your dudes.
And I don't think Wildcard runs it.
Whew.
I don't think Wildcard has that. He doesn't have Naturalize in his deck. He has Swipe, and he has Wrath, and he has Feral Rage. I don't know how he's getting through a 10-11. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Like saying, I saw your whole deck. I didn't see a Naturalize last game. Get through this 10-11. I love this. And then if he does, then Kangor's Endless Army, let's go all over again.
Yeah. 10-11. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a taunt. He just needs to keep staying alive.
Yeah, I mean, It's down to 10-6.
Ooh, egg's cool.
Does he have any way to get? I mean, the raid leaders really aren't going to do enough. I almost wanted him to not trade now because he would have had lethal if he'd left those 1/1s on the board. But swipe would have been.
Yeah, if he had
swipe's going to be on his mind. So I don't blame him for making that play. But
this makes his raid leaders good.
Now, yeah, and I mean, what's Wildcard going to do? He's going to play a Jade Behemoth. He's going to trade these off. And then Kangaroo's Endless Army is going to get down, and we're going to have that 10 and whatever the butt originally was.
He doesn't even have to. He just needs to put down those 2 raid leaders.
Yeah, he could do that too. I mean, I would imagine because you're so far ahead, you might want to play a Kangaroo's Endless Army just for the lulls. But
you could. But Nate's like, no, I'm just going to kill him.
Yeah, Nate's a better player than I am, clearly. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, raid leader coming to the rescue.
That's 10 damage worth of giggles is what that is. Oh, and just the faithful Lumi just to
he's got to BM a
rub
little
the salt
bit.
in the wounds. Yeah.
Nate Wolfe, a quick 2-0.
Yeah.
Man.
So now we're gonna see if Nate can get a win with that Cthulhu Rogue, because that is all that's standing between him and victory right now.
Could.
So. Yeah, I mean, he could. I mean, Cthulhu Rogue has been, inconsistently successful.
Yeah, it can do all right against the Jade Druid too.
Yeah, and all he needs to do is he just needs to find like the right combination of cards at the right time in order to get a win. He's got 3 chances at it.
Mm-hmm.
He may, I don't know what Wildcard wants to do. If he wants to stick with this Jade Druid and ride or die with it. Or maybe just switch over to the Big Priest and just say let Barnes carry him to a win and kind of get himself back in this match. I'm not sure what he would want to do, but
yeah, it is always tough when you're playing a tournament game if you start 0-2. Like your morale just starts getting a little low, so he might need to just try and get a good win in here.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably just switch to the Big Priest. It's going to be his best chance against whatever he's going to be playing against. His Big Priest actually runs Chromagus.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering what he had to pull out to, in order to make room for that he didn't have access to. Oh, he actually doesn't have Barnes as a Barnesless one because he probably doesn't have access to Barnes in the Mammoth sets.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so but Barnesless Big Priest is fine too. And he runs Sylvanas and Thaurissan and Chromagus in there along with Rag, Lich King, 2 Obsidian statues, and Ysera.
Some alright, decent mans.
Yeah, that'll do.
He just says, "Let's go! I gotta win with this druid."
Oh, yeah. Forget Big Priest. Rod will be happy with us. We're gonna ignore the Big Priest. We're just gonna go right back to the Jade Druid.
Now, I do have to give Wolfe some props because Shaku's one of my favorite cards ever made, so I'm happy to see him.
I love myself a good Shaku. Shaku is a fun card, and
man, I've won so many games with him where he just gives you crazy nonsense.
Yeah, and this list, by the way, goes like full Cthulhu. So we have 2 Beckoner of Evils, 2 Disciples, 2 Twilight Elders, 2 Cthulhu's Chosen, a Crazed Worshipper, and Veclor, and he's running 2 copies of Shadowcaster.
Man, Crazed Worshipper used to be such a crazy card.
Yeah, it was great in Cthulhu Warrior for like a week.
Yeah.
I remember holding off on crafting, and then by the time I got around to wanting to craft it, it was out of the list already. No ramp here for Wildcard. Not really much to start with. Passing on the coin Acidic Swamp Ooze play wisely.
Yeah, smart man.
And does get the Gadgets and Auctioneer. That'll be useful a little bit later, but probably doesn't want to go in on that too early. And again, no ramp and just a hero power face.
Now, Wildcard does have the perfect answer to this Shaku. He's got both Wrath and Swipe.
Yep, which will help next turn when he can target it with the Wrath. But Jade Idol, I wonder if he might want to save that for the Fandral. Yeah, this Acidic Swamp Ooze on the dagger is fine. 3/2 challenges the 2/3.
Ooh, I like shadow stepping it back. That's not the right play at all.
No, it's not, but it's fun.
You probably backstab and play the 4-drop.
Yeah, that would probably be a better play.
Ooh,
but it wouldn't be the fun play.
that could be good late game when he's got all these fat Jade boys.
Yeah. I mean, shadow stepping a Bladed Cthulhu or just shadow stepping Cthulhu is pretty good.
This guy's toast.
Yeah, this is fine. Just attack in. You got a Poison Seeds. You got a 3/3 and a 2/3.
Choosing to clear the board. Well,
Yeah.
not want to take another 3 to the face.
Yeah, and I mean, he doesn't really have another great option. He could swipe one and leave another, but Cold Blood is still a card that could be in Nate's deck. He doesn't really know what Nate's doing yet because all he's seen is Shaka, which could be anything.
Yeah. And now he's gonna find out.
He's gonna find out in a hurry.
Do you hear its call? Listen closely.
Oh
love
man,
that
brings
guy.
back such good memories.
Oh, I love him.
I didn't play him. I was playing Cthulhu Shutterwalk for a while a couple of weeks ago, and
Oh, nice.
it was so much fun.
Man,
Yeah,
I
with
might have to play
Omega Defender to
Yeah.
get the Shutterwalk up. Yeah.
And you have to kill the Twilight Elder.
Yeah, you can't let that live. Now that you know what his plan is, you can't let that live. And I mean, Wildcard just doesn't really have anything else going on now anyway. I mean, he could have coined out the Wild Growth. That might have been a decent use of the coin, but he doesn't really have anything to ramp into either because the rest of his hand is just not doing a whole lot.
Yeah, being able to save the coin for your auctioneer has some merit too.
Yeah. So this Fandral...
Be
He's
interesting.
thinking about Fandral. I don't know if he.
The problem
I
with
would love
Fandral
to
is
see.
it just-
I would love to go Fandral Fandral Feral Rage in a turn. I don't know that you want to necessarily be shuffling the Jade Idols this early, just because you need stuff to contest the board, and you really don't want to be drawing more Jade Idols. I mean, I guess you do because you're going to get the Gadgets and Auctioneer online. But I would think you'd want to get through your deck first and then
I
shuffle
like the
those
Shadow
in.
Strike. Keep that Divine Shield.
Yeah.
That Fandral
Yeah, that's
play
fine.
telegraphs that he has having an issue dealing with that Divine Shield boy. Or I guess
Yeah.
it's a girl. Divine Shield girl.
Yeah. Yeah, this is that's a perfectly good use of the Shadow Strike. I mean, it's not really gonna do much else, and it's gonna lose value pretty quickly as we get further into the match. Anyway, going in with the Auctioneer already.
Yeah, you gotta draw 2 cards and ramp.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Okay.
could also play that.
Well,
Hope you get another idol, and then you could play that.
yeah. I mean, just play out a 2/2, get another card.
Gets more mans on the board. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it lets you save the Wild Growth because you'd rather save that for 10 mana. So at this point, now that you've already got 7, the extra ramp really isn't helping you. So yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I like the Craze Worshipper here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and the 2 Shadowcasters in hand too, and the Cthulhu is already in hand for Nate. So Nate, Wildcard's gonna have to start worrying about his armor soon too.
Okay.
Yeah, not today though, because we're gonna Feral Rage down this Crazed Worshipper.
Then you can play the Jade Spirit on the back end if you want. Or you
Yeah.
can Blossom Hero Power.
Yeah, I like getting the Blossom down because that gets you to the 10 mana, and then you can start doing things like Nourishing for cards and stuff next turn. But being able to contest the board has its merit too.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Jade Spirit here.
Ooh.
Oof.
He can do some dirty things with that boy.
Yeah. What is the Cthulhu? The Cthulhu's already up to 11/11.
He could Shadowcaster the 3-drop and
He
get his
could
better.
he could go
Valkyrie
Disciple
twice.
Shadowcaster. He could go Disciple Shadowcaster Disciple.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
The shadows
That just cleans it up really, really nicely. And it gets the Cthulhu up to 15/15
Which is
with a
okay.
Shadow Step in hand.
I mean, he's
This
just
could just be-
representing lethal.
Yeah, I mean I mean and that's why I didn't super like the Feral Rage last turn, because now you're pretty much dead.
That's a good one to take.
Yeah, I mean at least it's got a bigger butt than the others, but you really need to start healing.
You need to start putting out meat right now.
Yeah, I mean at least getting some of these Jade Idols on the board are going to at least soak some Cthulhu hits if Nate decides that that's what he wants to drop. And I would imagine with the Shadow Step in hand, why wouldn't you?
Do you just Cthulhu here? Yeah.
I think you do, because you have the Shadow Step. You can do it again. You're probably going to wipe the board.
Could also
looks like
poison seeds if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's just going to try to make this thing bigger.
Yeah.
Which,
that's fine.
as somebody who's entertaining the crowd, I appreciate, but I might have thought about just like trading those couple minions, Cthulhuing, and then shadow stepping it back, and then saying, what do you have?
Cthulhu's a big old boy now. He has a 1919.
Yeah, that's a large old god.
Now, Ancient of War does have a huge butt if he wants to play that.
It does. It does. That's a thing that he could put down. He could also put that's actually more butt than the Ancient of War. All things together.
All right, it's got to be Cthulhu time, right?
I would hope so.
You have Shadow Step. You're gonna play him. Like,
you're gonna Cthulhu at least twice.
Do it. Come on.
And then you got the Doomcaller behind it, so let's do it. Is this enough for sure? I don't know. No, down to 6. Now the question is, do you Shadow Step it? I think
you do.
I mean, you could just leave it there and say you don't have a you couldn't get rid of a 10-11 last game. We try to get rid of a 19-19.
Whew. Yep, and he sees the same thing I saw.
Yeah.
There's no
very quick 3-0.
No getting out of that one.
Wow.
Dang, that I did not expect for those decks that he brought to be that quick.
No, especially the Cthulhu Rogue. I was not expecting the Cthulhu Rogue to go that quickly. Yeah,
exactly. But we got there. Do we want to try and get these kids on a call?
Yep. I'm seeing if they are available. Nate is just waiting on Wildcard to see if he is available or not. So,
man, a lot of these games have been like quicker than I expected because the lineups these two brought were not the fastest of decks.
No, I mean Jay Druid is notoriously slow, especially without UI. And I mean Cthulhu Rogue takes a long time to get set up. Taunt Druid is a slow deck. Odd Paladin is really the only aggro deck.
We have Reno Hunter and Quest Priest.
Yeah, I mean, was it Quest Priest? It's just Big Priests.
I thought he had the Wake and the Makers in there.
No, it started the curve started it too. Yeah, so they're both available. So if you want to hang up on me and we can talk to them about this shellacking.
All right, it'll take me forever because I'm bad at Discord. So give me a second here. All right. Give me a second, guys. This is always a fucking disaster. God damn it. It didn't work. Here we go. All right. We're waiting for the call. Hey, what's up?
Hey, hello there.
There we go.
So did you guys have like someplace to be or?
Was I playing quickly?
I mean, we started late and we're done under an hour, so.
I don't know. I always play fast. It's a bad habit.
Oh, it seemed to work out today, so.
Well, I guess it did.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't even know where to start because that was over. It was over so quickly, though. I guess the one thing that we wanted to ask about Wildcard, there was a play, and, this was way at the beginning of game 1. So, but we were kind of curious about it, where you had all the ramp in the world in your hand, and you chose to Feral Rage down the minion instead of ramping. Do you remember what you were thinking with that? Because we were very confused.
No,
at that
I don't
play
know.
early
I
on.
don't remember at all.
Yeah, I mean that was 3 games ago, so I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, so I don't blame you. But it just seemed like that the Jade Druid. It was. I mean, it seemed like on paper it should have been smoking, the Taunt Druid and the Cthulhu Rogue. It just seems like it was not giving you the draws that you needed.
Okay, so it wasn't just me then. That's good.
Yeah.
No.
I think I stole the first. I should have lost the first one for sure.
Did I miss lethal on that?
Which game?
No, you didn't. I don't think you did. I think it
was
like
probably really close.
It looked like it was close, but I think you were like 1 off at some point. I don't think you. I mean, you always have to kind of ask that when you leave your opponent at one health, but I don't think so.
You could have set up lethal if you would have hero powered him instead of wild growthing the turn before.
Okay.
You could have put him down to lethal with swipe.
Yeah. I mean, there's an argument that the Feral Rage versus ramp turn may have sent you down a different path that might have ended the game like 1 turn sooner and been able to get you over the top. But I don't think there was any like individual turn where you missed lethal. Yeah. So I'm sad because we didn't get to see the big priest.
Yeah, what other
I-
decks did you?
I'm
What
more
decks did
excited
you
about the
bring?
hunter. That deck I was
Yeah.
so excited
Yeah.
for.
Well, that's what happens. I had sort of discount Big Priest at Barnes's Big Priest because I played that on ladder and I figured out that I could, like I had a couple of tech outs where I'm playing like Holy Nova and things like that in it just to fit the criteria. And then I've got a Mech Hunter with Azalina and Reno in it, and it's a really fun deck.
Fun.
But yep. But I got swept, so
So Nate, this is actually all your fault.
Yep.
that we
Yeah,
didn't get to see
Nate.
Gorilla Bot.
It is. I'm sorry.
What was,
He had Gorilla Bot and weaponized Pinata, Nate. What monster are you? Like, come on.
Well, it was funny because both of your lineups were not necessarily quick. Like you both brought pretty slow decks minus that odd paladin, and I was like, okay,
The odd
yeah,
paladin
this is gonna be a
deck
bit.
was super janky. I mean, all the decks were janky. This deck building restriction was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going
Yeah.
to be, because all the synergies, like they didn't work. And I made the mistake of choosing my classes before looking at the restrictions, and then I was like, oh, what did I do? What am I stuck with? And trying to make a paladin work, like there's just nothing good.
And you're the one coming up with the restrictions. Like,
Well, yes. Oops.
Yeah, who can I call up and blame about these bad restrictions? Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, but the magnetic just kind of worked because like we were looking at it, like this 10-11 is never going away, and if it does, Kangar's Angelus Army's in the hand. He's going to bring it right back.
Right.
Like,
Well,
yeah.
I knew that I didn't have to be afraid because I had thought about using Jade Druid, but there's no spreading plague, and so I knew like I could go wide and not have to worry about spreading plague, and so I did. But yeah, no, I mean it was a weird deck, and I don't know what to say. I was happy I could play Cthulhu Rogue.
That made my night. Just anytime I get to see Cthulhu or Yogg being played for real, it makes me happy. So
Shadow Step Cthulhu is the dream.
Yep. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, well, you could have Shadowcastered it too and just gone all in, but yeah.
it would only be a 1/1, right?
Well, but that's still it would be tiny and adorable.
Wait, does it keep the?
I think it keeps
If
the
it's a
buffs.
1/1
Yeah,
it keeps the buffs, right? So you
I
play a
think it does
1/1 that
keep
has
buffs, yeah.
19 damage. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
for real?
Yeah.
I think it does. Yeah.
I think that's how
Oh.
it works. Yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking of like Shutterwalk when it works, probably because of my bad influence. But
Well, it's because I thought about it, but the card text said, make a 1/1 copy, but I didn't. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if it had the buffs or not. Yeah, I really
well, because
wasn't sure.
Cthulhu is a 6/6 always, and then it gets the buffs on top of it. So I think it does. I mean, okay, let's start up another game. Let's find out for science.
I'm down.
See, these are things that we never found out because literally nobody played Cthulhu Rogue until just now.
Right.
So.
I love Cthulhu.
It's so much fun, but it was definitely like the janky. Well, I guess Cthulhu Priest is really the jankiest of the Cthulhu decks, but
Yeah, Cthulhu Warlock is pretty bad too.
yeah, or Cthulhu Mage, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that one's there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
So
almost
Wildcard, you want to talk
used
about the
that,
decks
but-
that we didn't get to see because Nate is a monster?
Yeah, I feel
Because we didn't get to
guilty.
talk about that Reno Hunter because that had some spicy cards in it too. With, I mean, the Explodinator and the Gorilla Bot and the Pinata, like it looked really fun. How did that play out for you in practice?
It was fine. I mean, I think it was probably the worst of the three decks. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like keep my record, but I practiced all week with these decks, and that's why I kept with the Jade for all three games because the Jade was. I mean, it's pretty much like the net deck from that era, minus like 1 or 2 cards. And I was like, oh, this fits great. I'm going with it.
Let's do it.
Because, last time I had the deck restrictions, I went a little too off meta, and I got wrecked. Well, I got wrecked anyway when I stayed to the meta, so it doesn't matter. I just have bad luck. So I have the Rod Johnson luck, I think.
Well, that's why you brought Big Priest to cancel it out, right?
No one
Exactly,
has
yeah.
as bad of luck as them.
Yeah. I don't know. Him and I have a thing going back and forth where who has the worst luck. It's we both had coaches tell us that we suck. So
Did you test out the Wild Pyromancer Acolyte package in that deck? Because I know that was like the last time that Gadget's End was used in J Druid. That was kind of the package, the power cycle. Did you try that at all? Or?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember what era, what month I pulled from. But yeah, I looked at one of the old meta reports from like whatever 2015 or whatever it was,
Yeah.
2016. And obviously it was before Azure Drake rotated out.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, that couldn't have been because. Oh no, I guess that was the second rotation, right? When Azure Drake went away. So that must have been like at when MSG was new. That must have been from then because it would have rotated right after that, right?
Think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I get them so confused. Like playing Wild full time, I never know when anything rotates out
Same.
or even what set it's in because I just use everything all the time and I don't
Yeah.
sort it by set. And so it's hard. Like doing these restrictions, like trying to guess which card was in which set.
Yeah.
I had a bad time with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sauce, you have anything else you want to ask them, or should we? Obviously they had somewhere to be, so we should let them get on with their night.
No, I mean, I think you both did well.
Yeah.
Sometimes the hardest thing with Jade Druid has always been just how you draw. Because that's one of those decks, like it has a pretty neutral game against most classes, which makes it so good. But if your hand, like the last game you were in, your hand was full of 6-drops and you just got beat down, like there's nothing you can really do about that.
Yeah, I mean that's what J Druid was like back then, right? Like that's back when J Druid was like a fair deck and you could beat it by like playing aggro and just beating it in the face before it got UI and spreading play and everything
Yeah,
else.
I remember that meta. It was Jade Druid against Pirate Warrior.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and you didn't have spreading plague or UI to help you live. The Pirate Warrior just hit you in the face and then you lost.
Yep.
And you used J Druid to beat up on the Reno Mage and the Reno Warlock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Little
history lesson there.
Yeah. All right. Well, you I mean, not that everyone doesn't know where to find you, Nate, but you all want to just let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah. So I'm on Twitter at NateWolfHS. It's NateWolfEHS. And I'm half of the Into the Wild podcast, and you can find everything there. It's intothewildhs.com. Thank you guys very much for casting the game and for Wildcard for everything that you do and being a good sport. Yeah, thank you. I had a lot of fun.
What about
Wildcard,
you?
what about you?
What's that?
Where can people find you, Wildcard?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank Nate for seeing me as a passionate enough member of the Wild community to include me in this group. It really means a lot to me. And all the work and frustrations that him and I have gone through putting this together. It's still an awesome experience nonetheless. But anyway, you can. So I write for Team Rank Star. I've got an article which is in editing right now. So hopefully that will be out soon. I also write for Wild HS, and I've got an article in the works right now I'm writing. Hopefully that'll be out in the next week or so. You can find me on Twitter at Wildcard Hearth, on Twitch at Wildcard Hearthstone. And you know what? The decks that you didn't see tonight, you know what? I'm going to do a meme stream right after this, and we're going to play these at the Rank 5 floor. I'm going to push myself back to the Rank 5 floor by playing them. But we're going to have fun, because who cares?
Hey, that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you want highlights of my streams, you can go to YouTube and try to find Wildcard on there. So that's it.
I love it. Yeah, it was funny right before you guys played. I was talking about how much I love the Reno Hunter, because that was last night when I was streaming. I was playing Reno Yogg Hunter and just tanking my rank.
Anything with Yogg is, that's superior, even if it doesn't show it in the rank stars. So
I wanted to include either Cthulhu or Yogg. I don't know if you guys watched the other night, but I got to cast a match this week, and Get Meowth purposefully missed lethal just so that he could play Yogg the next turn.
Love it.
People's champ right there.
That's dedication, is what that is.
I mean, he still won, so I guess it was worth it, but
Hey,
it would have been
when
worth
you're
it
the people's
anyways.
champ, you win.
Listen, I mean, that's Yogg. Nobody ever lost playing Yogg. That's just science.
Yeah, no, he never kills himself with his first spell.
No,
He did
never.
turn himself into a white eyes.
Yeah.
That's better than a frog. That's
Yeah.
progress.
It's better than a frog or a sheep, right?
Yeah. Hey, Wicked Good, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Twitter at Wicked Good. You can find me talk about Hearthstone from my car while I'm sitting in traffic on the way home at offcurve.com, or you can follow at offcurve on Twitter. And I'm in a bit of a hiatus from streaming, hoping to end that hiatus soon. But when I get back to streaming, you can find me twitch.tv/wickedgoodfm.
Heck yeah.
And what about you, Saucy?
Oh, me. My
Yeah.
name's Saucy Mailman. You can find me anywhere on the internet. Just search for Saucy Mailman on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all those places. And yeah, I stream 5 nights a week, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we've been memeing on Legend Ladder. It's fun.
All right. So, and thanks everybody for watching. Thank you both for playing. This was a lot of fun. I mean, it was over too soon. We'll put it that way. But it was a lot of fun to watch. It was an honor to cast it. So, thank you both for putting on a good show, and thank you all of you at home for watching. And stay tuned to this channel for the next games. I think we're back to a regular week next week. This should be the last match of the week, right?
It is.
So-
Ours is the last one of the week, and then we reset. Yeah, next week is just no restrictions. So
Yeah. So
whatever
get
three
ready for-
classes they bring, but no restrictions. So
get ready for your Starliner Druids, and we'll see you next week. But thanks for watching, and have a great night.
sounds good. Thank you guys.
Thanks.